Today we'll be doing a lesson on function tables and graphing. The only time you'll need to put something into your notes is at the very end. Here we'll talk about a table. This is an input-output table. I have the inputs of 2, 3, 5, 7, and 10. When I put it through my magic tunnel, it's going to give me an output. And you have to decide on the rule. If I put 2 in, the output is 18. If I put 3 through the magic tunnel, the output is 27. Can you guess the rule? If I put 5 through, we get 45. And as I put the 7 through, we get 63. What do you think would happen when I put the 10 through? Well, let's put the 10 through and see, and then we'll look at our table. The answer is 90, the output. Is that what you got? Well, what is the rule? The rule is if you multiply the input by 9. We can also graph input and output tables. This input table, the X is considered always the input because that's what's going in, and the Y is the output. Remember, on our graph, the X is the horizontal axis, goes across, and the Y is the vertical axis. We always start at the origin of 0. Let me fill in the table here, and then we're going to go ahead and graph the table. Remember, our rule was to multiply by 9. So 2 times 9 is 18, 3 times 9 is 27, 4 times 9 is 45, 7 times 9 is 63, and 10 times 9 is 90. Now I have to decide how to number the graph. I'll start with the x-axis first, and I'm going to number every red line one whole number. Now on the y-axis, the output, I notice that I have to go all the way up to 90. I'm going to start at 0, and every red line I'm going to number by tens. These are the multiples of 10. I make it up to 80. 90 would be off the screen, but it is up there. So now we're going to go ahead and graph it. Remember, in graphing, we always take the x-coordinate first and go across. So we're going to go across to the 2, and then up to about 18, and make a point. Next, we go over to the 3, go up to 27, which is almost close to 30. Make another dot for a point. Then we have 5 and 45. That one's easy because it's on the line. Then 7 and up to 63, right by the box. Now remember, we can't do 90 because it's off of our screen. So now we take a straight edge and we're going to connect it to make a line. So this function table makes a line like this. We can move that line up just a little bit. There we go. Great. Let's try another one. If I put a 2 into the magic tunnel, I get a 20. So 2 is my input and 20 is the output. If I put an 8 in, I get an 80. Are you thinking of the pattern yet? Oops. I was going to put 100. That's not right. Let's change that to 80. Next, we put the 10 in, and we get 100. Then we have 15, and we get 150. and then 23 to get 230. So what do you think the rule is? You're right, the rule is to multiply the input by 10. Let's go ahead and graph this one. Put the inputs in. 15, 23, and I forgot 8, so I'm going to put it on the bottom. Normally we'd put these in order. And then the outputs, 2 times 10 is 20, 10 times 10, 100, 15 times 10, 150, 23 times 10, 230, and 8 times 10, 80. Remember, the input is the x, and the output is the y. X is the horizontal axis, it goes across, and the y is vertical. I don't have much room, but I'm going to number these. Every red line I'm going to number as 5. Remember, you can number them what you need to, just as long as you make it consistent. I'm going up by 5s on every single red line. So on the vertical axis, I decide I'll go up by 10s. Doesn't look like I'm going to make it all the way to 230. Goes right off the screen. So we'll have to graph that 1 off the screen. But let's start with 2. Go over to 2, which is almost to the middle, and up to 20. The next number, 10, and up to 100. Then we have 15, and we go up to 150. 23 isn't on the graph on our screen, so we're going to go back and let's graph 8, and that goes up to 80. Now I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm going to make sure that all those lines they should be in a straight line. They're pretty close. There we go. And we should have arrows on the ends because we do know that this line continues in both directions forever. If we picked a number like 35 or 40, we could figure out what the output was. This is a fun machine. Let's see if you can figure out what the function is. Whoops, I still have my line. Let's get rid of our lines. Well, we'll just move them over for now. Okay, let's see what we could put into our function machine. In goes a 3, out comes a 24. In goes a 6, out comes a 48. In goes an 8, out comes 64. In goes a 7. There we go. And out comes a 56. Do you know the rule? Can you figure out what the function machine is doing? Well, in goes a 5 and out goes a 40. Looks like that we're multiplying again by 8. So let's graph this one. Here's our inputs. 6, 7, and 8. We knew that the rule is to multiply by 8. So 3 times 8 is 24. 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 8, 48. 7 times 8 is 56. And 8 times 8 is 64. Remember, the input is the x value, going horizontally, and the output is the y value. Okay, let's go ahead and put our scales on. I think going across, I'll do every red line as one whole number. Eight's my largest number, so I can stop there. And I need to go to at least 64, so I think I'm going to go up every 10. And I'm going to include all of them all the way up to 70. Let's plot the points. Go across the 3 and up to 24. That's a little bit lower than 25, which is halfway. The next one, go across to 5 and up to 40. That one's an easy one because it's right on the lines. Then we have 6 at 48, a little bit below 50. 7 at 56, which is a little bit above halfway. And 8 at 64. You can see the line forming as we work our way up. So now we have to take our straight edge and we draw our line. We'll put some arrows on it so we know it continues. Excellent. Now all of these examples have been functions with multiplication. Let's do a function with addition. What I'd like you to do is copy both of these into your notes. This first one I want you to do x plus 5. The second function I would like you to do x plus 10. I'll tell you the x's, which are going to be the in box. So let's do 2, 4, 6, and 8. And we'll do that for the same one also. Let's see what happens. Go ahead and pause the video, figure out the outputs, and then we'll start again. Let's go ahead and graph our functions. This was the x plus 5 one and the x plus 10. Let's see how you did on your outputs. I know you don't have graph paper, but this would be a good time to cut out a small piece and put it into your notes for this. In the x plus 5, in was 2, out was 7. In was 4, out was 9. In was 6, with out was 11. And in was 8, out was 13. In the x plus 10 function box, in was 2 plus 10 is 12. In is 4 plus 10 is 14. In is 6 plus 10 is 16. And in is 8 plus 10 is 18. We have the scale going across all the way up to 8 for our x-axis. That's the input. The output is the y, and I'm going to only have to go up to 18. I'm not sure I'm going to make it on the screen. 18 would be right there, a little bit higher. Let's go ahead and plot the first one. We'll do this one in red, and this is x plus 5. 2, 7. We go across to 4 and up to 9. Right about there on the line, in between 8 and 10. Then we go across to 6 and up to 11, and across to 8 and up to 13. This one we did in red. So let's do the second one in blue, and let's see what happens with these two lines. Here we start with 2 and go to 12. Then we have 4 and go to 14. And 6 will go to 16. And 8 will go to 18. That's off our chart, so you can't see it. Let me draw the lines in there. We'll use a blue line for the blue line. Good. It's off a little bit because of the rotation. And we'll use the red one for our red function box. We'll put arrows on them, because remember, they are lines. Lines continue in both directions. And write down one thing that you see about these two lines. Great job!